Hi, everyone. We are here once again. This is the Take Two interviews, and this project is called Two Artists in Search of a Dialogue. And today we have my friend, Júlia Rios, from Brazil, and she'll be able to introduce herself in a minute. Those are my kids there running. And we also have Chandler, or Jackie Chandler. I think Jackie is the short name, or how do you say that again in English?
Yeah, I was actually christened Jacqueline, but I don't tend to use Jacqueline, and most people in the family call me Jack, so
Okay.
Jack is fine.
Yeah, and the goal of this project, as I normally explain to everyone, this started in the pandemic, during the Corona time, and because we were all at home, stuck at home, and we couldn't go out and talk to the people, I started interviewing some artists in Brazil. And there was a very interesting project because people are asking for more and more and get to know each other and kind of have an exchange program or an exchange chat between everyone. And now that I'm living here in Europe, I thought this would be a very nice way to get to know people and get to know the artists and what they're doing in Europe and how they deal with this task or life of being an artist, of being artists. So I have prepared some questions for you guys, and I would like to start with the first question for you. And that's a surprise question. You didn't see that one, right? So I think I'll start with Jack. And my my question is, who is this person living behind the name Jack Chandler?
Oh my word. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm an author, I'm a cat owner. Well, I don't own a cat. A cat has chosen to live with me, and I'm grateful for it every day. I'm anosmic, which means I have no sense of smell. I love to watch TV. I love to make jewelry. I paint oil paintings, and I do lots of puzzles. I like for there to be good in the world. My characters are similarly aligned, where they want to pay things forward in the world. And I like to believe in what I see. So when I watch TV or something, I like to believe it's true. I like to be wrapped up in it, that, Jurassic Park exists somewhere on an island, somewhere in the Pacific, things like that. I don't like to watch the making of.
That's interesting. And there's a lot of things going on in your life.
Yeah, but everybody's got stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And if I had to ask you, instead of being someone, being a feeling, what kind of feeling would you be? And actually, what would people see from Jack Chandler?
I don't know, because no, I've no idea. I feel everything. I find I'm very lucky. I have a very happy life now, and so people are always surprised when they see what I write. They expect it to be more bubbly and light, like I am. But I find that we are all emotions. We're every single emotion, and because I don't have particularly things like anger or hatred in my life, sometimes it comes across more on the page. It's a way of experiencing all the emotions. So I don't think I can narrow it down to just one. I'm a mixture of everything.
It's nice. I think it's like how life would have to be for everyone.
Yeah.
Great. So let's go to Julia for a while. I would ask you the same thing, Julia. Who is this person that we are seeing and living behind this name, Julia Rios?
I think that I'm a very happy person too, as Jackie said. And I think I'm a very, I don't know, like playful, and and I try to be kind to people because I love when people treat me with kindness. So I don't know, I think I'm a person who likes to be around people and to talk and and get to know different people. And I'm a person with a disability too. So this it's a important part of my life, and in had, I don't know, made me who I am today.
Mm.
And I'm a person who loves dogs, and yeah. I
That,
think that's it.
that's all about all you know about yourself. Yet to
It's
come.
difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to. I think the most difficult task is to say about myself.
Yeah, it's okay. I think we all do. We all have these situations where, when we think about ourselves, we might ask, "Wait a minute, what the hell I'm doing here? Who I am? Who am I?"
Yes.
Yeah. So, you haven't mentioned your, um, let's say, artistic path, but we should present to everyone that you're an assistant director, right? In
Yes.
the movie area, yeah, in the movies scene, I would say, in the industry, yeah,
Yes.
in Brazil. And we're also talking to an author, a person who writes books. And I should ask you, Jack, if someone would, again, it's a kind of introduction moment. If someone met you in silence, I mean, not that you had to introduce yourself, but they would see you in a book, or I don't know, in a movie or something like that. What part, or how they could recognize you as an artist, or how could they see the artist that also lives in you?
I'm not sure they would. I've thought about this question, and I tend to watch people. People are fascinating, the way they react to things, and they often give themselves away with their body language or their answers, or and the way they hold themselves or something. And I tend to watch for that. And I don't know if anybody notices me doing that, but I find that it's, you can tell when someone's lying to you, you can tell when someone's thinking something that they're not maybe saying. Um, and I don't know if that would come across. Like I say, the majority of people are surprised when they know me. They're surprised to see that I write what I write. They don't think of that as something that, I don't know whether or not I'm capable of doing, or it just yeah, it just surprises them. So I'm not sure they would see it.
Hmm. Okay. And how is this question for you, Julia? Let's say you're in silence and people are getting to know you from other means. What would be that, and how would they get to know that, oh, this is an artist?
Well, what I think that's interesting that Jack said too is because my role in the film industry is a very, it's kind of a serious role and methodic, and you have to be like rigid. This word exists, like
You have to be what? You can say in Portuguese. I can.
rígido, like rígida.
Rigid. Yeah, rigid.
Yes, rigid.
Tough. Yeah.
And I'm different for this stereotype, and I think that's funny because it surprises people when they get to know me, because I don't think that when they see me working for the first time, I think that they don't get me
They
like
don't expect this.
yes, they think that I will not do my job well, maybe. But I think that I surprised them because I work for a different way, and it works too. But they get surprised every time because I do my job in a, like I said, in a kind way. And it works because I'm kind with people, so they get to respect me. And I like to be this way because I think that the film industry is very difficult, and it's very stressful, and people are very tired. So I think that when I do my job in a respectful and kind way, people feel better and do their jobs better too. So I think I'm surprised people sometimes, and I'm I get like happy with this because I think it's funny.
I think we all have other layers that people don't see and don't expect. I was playing a board game with a friend. I love board games. That's something I forgot to say. And I was playing a board game with a friend, and she's very high ranking in her job. But when you meet her, she's just, friendly and good natured, and you wouldn't necessarily think of her as particularly businesslike. And then we were playing this game where she had to be in charge and she had to manage the rest of us. And she changed, like that. She You suddenly got a feel of what it would be like to work with her. And I wouldn't have imagined what it was like to work with her before that point. Everybody is sort of different than what they display. They display different aspects of their character to their family or to their friends or to their work colleagues, or depending on what activity they're involved in.
Yes.
I remember this slogan. I'm not sure. This quote from Che Guevara. He says in Spanish, "Hay que endurecerse, pero sin perder la ternura." You got to be tough, but without losing your tenderness.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're talking about these different layers that all human beings have, I think. And in a way, I would say this is a very acting method of taking part in life. Yeah, like we have to have these different masks and different personalities sometimes towards our family, towards our friends, and in the work environment. I think this is some natural way of living. Yeah,
Very much so. I would say, and you can't, whether or not you're a kind person underneath, you can't always display the same front to everybody. Different circumstances require different behaviors. You're always going to behave in different ways to different people.
Exactly. And then you were talking about this, Jack, for some time now, that people would not exactly expect reading what you write because it's not quite what you are, or maybe this is another facade or another facet, another side of Jack. It's the written Jack. And I would like to ask you, because one of the questions here I asked you guys is, your stories map chaos into order, to say so. And while Julia, you structure the chaos into creation, like being rigid as an AD, assistant director. You're trying to bring the chaos into some kind of order as well. So to Jack, I would ask, what do each one of you, and to start with you, Jack, need most at the start of a project? Do you need some kind of freedom, total openness, or should something be structured for you to start some kind of project, to start writing a book? Where do you come from with this?
I'm giving you really unhelpful answers. I would say both. The thing is that you need to be able to explore. You explore the world of the characters, you explore the story. As you write it, you start off with an emotion of excitement. For me, it always starts with a particular scene I want to write. And the secret is to make sure that the book is only made up of those scenes. And so I start off with an excitement and the freedom to play. I have these little people and they're in my world and I can do whatever I want. But I find that I work much better to a deadline. So when I give myself a deadline, then because it can be very undisciplined to sit there and write. Nobody else knows that I'm sitting here and writing. Nobody else is dependent on me sitting here and writing. So, I could just stop for a month. I could stop. I don't do any writing. And nobody would really pressure me to do it or anything. So it's much easier for me to get my bum in the seat if I have a deadline and I work to that deadline. And even if it's self-imposed, I can stick to it because I love writing. I find that when I don't write, I actually get miserable. I need to write. But you need both. You need the freedom to explore and play, very much so. But the deadline, the limits, help you keep it grounded within reality and stay sane.
Okay. And that's curious because when we talk about creation, or if we're thinking about art, it's kind of awkward to think that we would have deadlines to be creative and write everything and put everything there on the page. And how does this work for you?
You have to have discipline. I mean, it is still a business. It's a business that nobody else really is dependent on. So like I say, I don't have a boss who's watching me or requires that I complete so many chapters a day or anything. But it is still a business, and the book that I create is still a product. So you have to get your bum in the seat. That's what it comes down to. And a lot of authors don't view it that way. But then a lot of authors also never finish the book or give up. So
I see. I have my own experience with book. I wrote a book about one of my idols, director in Brazil, that died very young and had so many creative work. In 36 years, he wrote 36 plays, and he really changed the way people make theater in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. And there was no story about him. And I took like 11 years to write this book. So I totally understand what you mean. I didn't have a deadline, yeah. So, Julia, um, this is kind of very different in the movie industry because everything is about deadline, yeah?
Yes.
So, where is the creation in the middle of this crazy work?
That's the cool way to think about it, because we have deadlines and we don't have money. We never had enough money, like never have enough money to film. So my job is to translate what is in the director's mind and to say this to all the crew in the and make them work as a team and in a unit. So directors are always crazy and they want to shoot a lot of things, and we don't have time to do this and we don't have money. So I need to establish limits to say, like, we can film like 20 sequences this day, we have to shoot like 10. So we have to be creative to think about um like creative ways to film and to still pass the message and the creative process and the artistic creation in like uh resumido.
Um, oh, I forgot this word. It's like a summary, summarized.
In a summarized way
Mhm.
to fit in the shooting schedule that we have to to
To make the movie.
yes, to make the movie.
Yeah. And with the money we have, right?
Yes. So I think it's always a, a way to create new ideas and have like innovative ways to film, because we don't have money, so that's makes us be forced to create in a intelligent way.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand. It's like people say that when you make a movie, there's one movie in the director's mind, one movie on the script, and one movie as a result of everything, right? Three different movies in one idea. This is crazy. This is crazy, especially in the movie industry that you work, which is in Brazil, and things are so hard. Like we don't have the support we would need from the government or from the cultural ministry or wherever we could find the money to film. Yeah.
Yes, like I think we have to be thankful with because we have public funding, and
Mhm.
this makes us work like it's mostly the only way we work, but it's very short. uh
Yeah. It's not enough for everyone.
yes, yes, and it makes the movies be like sucateado. How can I
Or
say that?
amateur like.
Yes,
Amateur like, yeah. It's
yes,
we do have lots of nice masterpieces or really nice pieces in Brazil. But I understand you use the word I would be able to translate. Sucateado, that's kind of a it makes the movie become a wreck from what it originally could be, because the lack of money, the lack of time, and the lack of infrastructure in the movie industry in Brazil.
yes, and people are poorly paid too.
Yeah.
So that makes me very sad. And one of my like vision and mission in the film industry is to make people be well paid, because I recently opened a production company
Oh,
of my own. So,
oh,
Congratulations.
thanks.
It's
yeah.
wonderful.
Yes. It's called Respiro Filmes, like brief films.
The breeding films. Yeah.
Brief films, yes. And I'm starting to do my own projects, and one of
That's great.
my principal like mission is to pay the people I hire.
Higher. Yep.
Yes. Well, but it's difficult because
It
we
is.
are depending on public funding, so it's never enough.
Okay, so that project I saw on Instagram with the interviews as well
Yeah.
is from this Hispiro Films.
Yes,
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a very nice, very well done project I saw.
thanks. It's a podcast about
Uh-huh.
interviewing movie directors. It's the first season, it's about directing. So
Hmm.
we interviewed 7 directors, and we are planning to do more seasons, and each season will be about one department. So next season I think we'll do about screenplay. So we will interview screenwriters.
Okay. So it's all around the movie industry.
Yes.
Okay.
In federal district, like is the
In
state.
Brasilia, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
In the federal district. Great. That's great news. That's nice. That I'm honored to bring this information to everyone who possibly watch this interview from us. It's great.
Thanks.
And I would like to go back to Jack and ask about the process. Jack, our next question is, what do you think people misunderstand from the process? They get a little wrong of what's going on when you are an author, when you write something.
They misunderstand how active the characters are in the formation of the plot. I find that when I write, quite often the characters take over. They'll say something that I'm not expecting, or they'll do something that I hadn't planned for them to do, and it surprises me. And it's you say that to normal people, and they think you're insane. You say it to another author, and they say, "Yeah, I know, it happens to me too." It's a totally different perspective of looking at things. But the characters take over. I had this one scene in the book that I've just published, where this teenage girl, and she's doing something incredibly dangerous. And when I was writing it, I spent the entire time with typing with my hands in a cold sweat. And I was just saying, what the hell are you doing? Get out of there, get out of there. And she was just going deeper in, and I couldn't believe it. The characters don't always listen to you. The characters do take over, and they do something which is true to who they are. That is not something that I would do. I would not be as brave to do something like that, but they don't listen to me. And like I say, you say that to a normal person and they just don't get it, because I write it. It all comes from me. But it is like having people living in your head that, do their own things. They have their own characters, they have their own personalities, and they will behave how they want to behave. And that, I think, is the biggest misunderstanding that people have about writing a book, that the characters can take over.
I just remembered, and the reason I gave this name to this interview project, Two Artists in Search of a Dialogue, is from that title from Pirandello's play called Six Characters in Search of an Author. And
Yeah.
you just reminded me of this thing that characters are looking for an author because they have something to say and they want to live. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
I do have, when I have written different books, and you do find that, you know, the characters are sort of in your head waiting for their turn. They want you to sit down and write their book right now. You know, don't forget the other characters, just come and write their book. And they can get impatient.
okay.
And it, like I say, it sounds insane. I know it sounds insane. I'm honestly not. I'm a very healthy, well-balanced, sensible person. But the artistic side is very dominating.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm talking about. It's this artistic thing that I think that sometimes not even we ourselves can are able to notice that, but people do. They see us in a different way. They know that something is going on there. Like, for example, a very simple question I would ask you, Jack, is: have you ever woken up in the middle of the night to write something because someone is talking to you?
Oh, yeah.
Someone is, yeah.
All the time. I hardly ever sleep. I used to write on notebooks. So I always have a notebook, and it lies in the middle of the bed, in between me and my husband. Because if I put it on the bedside table, I reach for it in the night and I knock over my water and everything else, and I can't do that. So it sleeps, it lies in the bed between me and my husband. And I would get out in the middle of the night and I would write it, whatever it is that I'm thinking about. And but the next morning, I can't always read it, because sometimes I've written over something I've written before. And so my kids, bless them, my kids bought me a Kindle Scribe for Christmas this year.
Okay.
And so now I can actually see what I'm writing in the middle of the night without turning on the light, without disturbing my husband. I can now just jot things down in the middle of the night. But it gets a lot of use. Yes. Constantly waking up with miracle ideas at 3 o'clock in the morning. And yeah. Yeah. I don't sleep much.
Oh, we would say in German, schade.
Exactly.
Okay, and Julia, it's your turn to tell me about this misunderstood process. Like you kind of said that already, that people wouldn't expect that you would be able to do your work in a good way. And what is that? What is there that people get misunderstood?
I have a lot to say about this question.
Bring it on.
But specifically about what you asked me is about, it's just because like I'm small and I'm a woman, and I'm have like a cute voice, and people are expect me to be like very rigid and like a military captain. Like it's the stereotype of this function, I think.
Stereotyping.
Yeah, it's a stereotype because like assistant directors are the role that are in the front of the crew and are communicating and making the set happen. But I'm not the person who likes to screen and to be like very bruta. How can I say that?
Rude. rude
brutal.
or brutal
Yes,
or aggressive. Yeah.
yes. But
Strict.
yes, strict. But I'm receiving very positive feedbacks up, from the crew, because they say that they like to work with me because I'm not stressed then, and I know the time they need to do their work, because one of the first things about my role is that I manage time on the set. So assistant directors are always, how much time? Let's go. We don't have time.
Yeah.
And I know the time people have to take to do stuff. So I plan that before the set, like in the pre-production, and my plan tends to be right. So I don't need to be on their ears like let's go, because the the time is already okay planned. But I think that the most misunderstanding about this function for me is like two things that are connected. Is about the name of the function and the visibility that the function has. Because I don't think the name translates the function very well. Like assistant director, the people think that I'm the person who brings the coffee to the directors, and it's not
Yeah.
like that. Like not close. My brothers mock me saying that I bring coffee to the directors because of the name. So if I had the power, I would change the name of this function, like one of the first things.
Yeah. I
And the
totally agree.
yes,
Yeah.
and the second thing that is connected is about the visibility, because for me is like for sure a function that is head of department, like because we have assistants too. Like I'm the first assistant director, but we have the second assistant director, third assistant director, and sometimes we have a intern,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And we have to manage our own department, and we work in the film like from the early stages, like we are one of the first persons people to be hired. So it's a function that mostly people see as like an assistant, but for me it's like a head, I like a head function. I don't know if it's correct to say like this. And sometimes these and the credits of the movies comes like, I don't know how to say that in English, but I will say in Portuguese, and Felúcia help me, please. Like, a gente entra como, por exemplo, a gente não tem cartela nos filmes, né? Tipo, enquanto outras funções têm. E eu acho isso muito errado, assim, considerando a função. E às
So
vezes o pagamento também não é de acordo com a função chefe de equipe.
yeah, I got it. So you're saying that one of the main rules that come up in the beginning of the movie is the name of the director, the name of the main characters, actors, and uh, for so how important is this function should also give the credit in the beginning of the movie on those one of the first names. Yeah, we have. I remember that when we watch a movie, we have the directors, the casting director, the sound designer, maybe, and the assistant director would only get the credits in the
Yeah.
end of that big row of names and everything. And also, you mentioned that the payment is not accordingly paid to the importance of the role or assistant director's work. Yeah.
And the time we worked too, like the length of the time we worked. But I have to say that I think this way for a lot of roles in the film industry, but like as I'm assistant director, I'm
Yeah.
defending my function.
Yeah, of course, naturally. Yeah, like the assistant director works sometimes before you are actually hired, because you're in the conversations, people are trying to hire you, and they show you the story, and you might read and say, yeah, maybe I'll accept this job, until after, in the post-production, when the people are editing the movie and mixing and everything, right?
Yes, we are not formally hired to the post production,
Yeah.
but the assistant directors are a, how can I say, cargo de confiança.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to say that, but it's a trustful position,
Yes,
something like
yes,
that, for the
as a
directors. Yeah.
yes, as a trustful position for the directors, they always send me the cut
Mm.
to talk, but I'm not paid for this, and it's not formally on my.
Yeah,
You're not in charge
Yes,
of that, yeah.
yeah, I
That's
so
get it.
crazy.
There's certain amount of work that is just expected of you, whether or not you're paid for it. Yeah, I
yes,
understand.
yes,
Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy. And this is how things work in Brazil, actually. It's our industry. Not every place is like that.
yes.
Great. So I think we had the chance to get to know each other here a little bit, and it's time for our kind of a one before the last block, which is the block 3, the surprise block. And this is just some fun, some light moment that I'll just play with you guys, like a ping pong question, like for you guys to answer. And let's start with Julia. My question for you is, what do you prefer? Deadline or improvisation?
Deadline.
Jack?
Improvisation.
Okay.
When the characters make stuff up in your head, it's a fantastic feeling.
And would you say books or scripts, Jack?
Books.
Julia?
Scripts.
Yeah, I think I interrupted Jack. Yeah?
Sorry,
Sorry.
the joy of writing a book, the difference between a book and a movie is that you get to see what's in a person's head. It's the one benefit. You can't visually see what they're doing. That's the benefit of TV and movies, but you get to experience their emotions from what is written outside of what the dialogue is. So for me, books.
Books, okay. Julia, coffee or silence?
Silence.
Silence. I don't drink tea or coffee.
Yes,
Oh,
me
okay.
neither.
I would say that if I'm stressed in the set, I would not be alone somewhere waiting for everything to pass, and I would drink some coffee just to be more stressed, more active. And okay, Jack, daydreaming or structure?
Structure. I'm quite an organized person. I like to have things laid out properly and done how I want them done. But that I'm a little controlling in that way. That's not an author thing. That's a Jack thing.
Okay,
For me, it's a structure too.
structure.
Yes.
Okay, and control or surrender, Julia?
Control for me too.
Like, let's imagine a situation. People are on you saying, no, I want to do this. I really want to have this scene here. I want to change the camera position and change all the light. And I want to have this take here. Control or surrender?
Controls. I always like try to talk and understand why and see if it makes sense and if we have time to do the way they are planning. If I don't think we have time or like money, I always argue and try to convince people the other way around.
Okay. Jack, control or surrender?
Control. It's one of the reasons why I self-publish. I tried to get an agent and I tried to get a publisher, and in this journey, I've got to know a lot of other authors, and I've heard of their stories of having a publisher and having an agent. And I published my children's book with a publishing house traditionally, and the lack of control is upsetting. You hand them this project that you love and that you've lived with for however long, and then it's kind of like it's not yours anymore, and it's not a good feeling. So
Mhm.
for me, control, definitely. When it
Okay.
comes to the characters, surrender.
Okay.
Let the characters play. But when it comes to the business side, control, definitely.
All right. Let them use me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's think about this character thing. Let's think that you are now a character, Jack, and you are in the shoes of Julia. And if you have to spend a week doing Julia's job as an AD, assistant director, what would you be most excited or terrified about?
Again, the control, the scheduling, I would like that, where you get to you know how much budget you've got each day, you know what supplies you need on which day, how you're going to manage everything, how you're going to fit which scenes you're going to fit in on which days, and in a not necessarily in the order in which they appear in the movie, but in an order that makes sense based on what set you have that day and the lighting and the resources. I would like that side of it. What would terrify me, I think, would be dealing with actors. Creative people are just crazy. I know this because I'm crazy. But yeah, I would enjoy the challenge of getting everything done correctly, in the right way, in the best way.
Great.
I loved your answer.
That's good.
And
I have to say, I never understood what an assistant director did before this conversation. Now I get it. I totally get it.
Nice. But I don't said like I think I said like just like 20% of the
I'm sure.
I wouldn't say, Julia, I wouldn't say you're a time manager. You guys are like time creators.
Yes.
I don't know how you get to do so many things.
I would love
I
that.
don't
Can you
know
create time for me? I need that.
It's unbelievable what ADs do in the set. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Sometimes we get these crazy directors with yeah, like she said, 20 sequences to be filmed in a day, and some ADs manage to do that. And that's crazy.
Yes. People come to me in the end of the film when the set is like in the end, and they ask me to control their lives. I heard that like many times. Like, can you plan my life too? And I'm like, no, I'm exhausted.
You should ask, is your life a film? Then maybe.
Yeah.
If it's a film, and if it's storyboarded, and if it's scripted, and if I can have a set budget, and yeah, then
Yeah.
maybe.
Yes.
But I would ask you the same question, Julia. Let's say you're playing the role called Jack Chandler for a week. What would be the thing that excites you or terrifies you?
I will be very excited to listen the characters talking to me. I was enjoying so much listen to Jax because I focus in here on my role as an assistant director, but I'm also an a screenwriter.
Oh,
I'm starting, but yes, I was like it was relatable to me to listen her process, and it's so fun to write different characters that don't have
mm,
like n- anything, like they are not similar to me, and write them because it's so crazy. It's like a way to experiment different things that I'm not able to, but I'm writing about them, so it's very
yeah,
fun. And I think I will be amused to write the emotions, because as a screenwriter we have to translate emotions with actions. We can't
yeah.
be like in the mind of their character, so it will be nice to experiment writing like that, like in a more immersive way, I think, not about in the actions, like trying to translate what they are thinking about the actions they take. And terrified. I don't know. Maybe I thought it was very interesting, the self publishing, but I don't know anything about it. So maybe I will be terrified with this part.
I didn't either. You learn, but it was a really steep learning curve. But yeah, I had to learn it all. I didn't know anything when I started.
Yes,
You can do
because
it. You can do anything. I'm convinced you can do anything. You've got your own company. You're assistant director. You write screenplays. You're so young. You could do anything. You'd be fine.
you're so cute. I'm very inspired by this conversation. I'm loving it.
It's
Uh,
nice.
but like in the movies we have so many people working, like it's many people, so
Yeah.
the what we have to do is very, how can I say, like separado, compartimentado.
Yeah, it's separated,
Yes,
Compartmented.
compartmented. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So you do all the things, like you are one person are doing everything, so this is, it's crazy too, you can do a lot of things. Congratulations.
Thank you. And to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's the second time I hear this word. I got inspired by this interview, and this is exactly what we're trying here with this two artists in search of a dialogue. I hope one day we get to meet everyone together and drink some tea or a
Yeah.
beer, and yeah, have another on-site, person-to-person, eye contact, real eye contact meeting. Maybe one day in the future we'll be able to do this. And getting to the end, guys, I would ask for you both. You only have 10 words to leave a message to your artistic self in the future. What would that be, Julia?
I don't know, maybe like believe in yourself and create your own things. I don't know how many words,
6.
but I think that's it.
Yeah.
Great.
I would say yeah, have self-belief, don't give up, and play. Enjoy it.
Nice.
Great. That was 9 or so.
I didn't count.
Yeah, I tried to. I would say that you guys should send this message in the bottle. Maybe you will find this message in the future again. And then you will be able to kind of evaluate your path in the next 3, 5, 10 years, who knows? I also have a question for the other interviewees. You guys don't know who's coming, but we're passing the flame, yeah? Imagine the next two artists are already listening in. What question or provocation or playful whisper would you leave for them?
I would like to know about their creative process, how it works. Like Jackie said, like she has the paper in the middle of her bed, because people have so many different processes, and I think that's very nice to know, eh, to create our own process too and get
Yeah.
inspired.
Actually, I really like that. One of the things you do as an author is you find out about how other authors do it, and quite often it doesn't help you because it's not the way you do it, but it's quite interesting to know what's involved and what they prioritize and how they fit in their creative sides with the rest of their life. So yeah, it is always interesting to know, and sometimes you get a little tip that helps you do your creative side. So yeah, that's a very good answer. I would go with that.
I would like to know, like I just thought about something else, how they like optimize their time, because I think like it's so demanding, and it's like a long process for me. Like when I'm writing, I'm sometimes get worried about this because I don't have like enough money to the time I spend writing. So I was like, that there's a way to make this process like shorter but still preserve the quality, like like this is one thing that I would like to know from people too.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have another question. Is from what you guys have learned about yourselves and each other, are you still curious about something that you would like to ask Julia to Jack, Jack to Julia? And including in this question, I would ask for feedback. How did this meeting, this interview, this moment here together, gefällt dir? How can I say this in English? How did you like this? Yeah.
Very much. I found it very interesting, actually. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was a little nervous and apprehensive, but actually it's been lovely. Julia's lovely, and it's
You're
been so
lovely.
nice to talk to her and find out what she does in her life. And her side of things is much more the controlled side of things. I'm not sure. I think, in my opinion, from what I've heard today, Julia has to be creative in order to fit everything in. But she is one of the people who kind of controls the creativity because she has to stop the director from going off the walls and saying, I want to do this. We have 20 pounds to spend and I want to do a 300 billion type film. Yeah. And she has to control that. And so that's been very illuminating, actually. And I admire her greatly for being able to do it because, like I say, creatives are very insane and you have to know when to let them be creative and when to hold them back and make it realistic so it actually gets done, the project can be completed. So that's been very interesting. I've really enjoyed this, and she's lovely. Julia, you're lovely.
You're
Yeah.
lovely too. I'm very curious to read your work.
Well, it's on Amazon. Just you can read the first chapter and then know if it's something you like.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
search for sure.
I will send you the link. I have the link.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're lovely, and it's interesting to know how you manage it. I don't know how you have the time to do this today based on everything else that you do and you manage in the day.
It's crazy. Yeah. I'm
But yeah, a
wondering
creator
as
of
well.
time. She's a
Yeah.
creator of time.
I love this phrase. I will use it as a slogan now.
Maybe
You
it's the
should put
name
it
of
on
the.
your resume. You know, Julia, creator of time. This is be fantastic. Everyone will hire you. Everyone.
I love this. But I like I said, I am very inspired by this interview. I think it's so nice when we take time to talk about our process and think about it, because it's so crazy. Like, we're always running and
Yeah.
just working. So it's very like comforting. This word
Comforting.
is comforting to take time and breathe and talk and
Yeah.
get to know people. I loved you. I'm curious about your work. So, and I love Pelucio too. We just worked one time together, but we always in touch.
Yes.
So I'm happy with this. And I will say that actors are crazy too.
And that's
But
all
they
your fault. The fact that we're here, it's all your fault, Julia. I have to say.
they are fun to work. And I think they are so creative, and they are so vulnerable too. And I
Mm.
think it is very beautiful to watch them working. I did one experience about acting just to know and just to learn how to direct actors, and I was so terrified. It's very crazy, but it's a beautiful work too. And writers are like very vulnerable too, I think, and they have
Mm.
to be very true and and be grounded and then creative and have time. It's a very difficult job too. So I think you are awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's been really nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's been a really nice chat.
Yes.
I would like to thank you too for this wonderful moment and to bring me this feelings of inspiring and nice moment and joyful afternoon with you guys. If you guys have any final words, would you like to say anything else to everyone who will be able to watch this?
I would say good luck, and don't let people tell you it's not worth doing. There is often this idea that you should spend your time more constructively or with a real career, and this I find for mental health reasons, for sheer joy, it's really important to indulge the creative side of you. And that's partly what this interview is about. It's about recognizing that. So I would say just enjoy it and don't let people stop you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. I'd say to for people to be happy about their path and stay light and stay kind to people and be strong to continue in this path that is difficult but is very fulfilling too.